Hello there, welcome back. So let's talk about the meaning of life. What's the meaning of your life? What's the purpose of your life? Why are you here? What's the great story arc that you're unwittingly on or committed to? What's your purpose? And and this is something that I've wrestled with myself on and off for sort of quite some time. And the thought that I have about it now is that it's really just a giant red herring for like almost everyone. I think there are very, very few people who are born, and by the time that they are, 5 or 6 years old or whatever it is, their life is on some sort of trajectory where they already are, given the gifts and talents and support to do the thing that they're going to do. And they go on and spend their whole life doing whatever that thing is, obviously gifted and skilled and amazing. And I think that is just a tiny, tiny, tiny little fraction of people on Earth that have that. I think most of us will look at those people and it's like, oh my gosh, they have it all together. They have meaning and purpose and they're doing exactly what they're doing and they're gifted and talented. Why can't I do that? Why isn't that me? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know why it isn't you. And to be honest, by the time you're asking the questions of what's my purpose in life, you're already probably 10 or 15 years behind those sort of magically, specially gifted people. So you're never going to be what they are because they just have such a huge head start. So I think that whole thing of trying to figure out what your meaning is, what your purpose is just a giant red herring for most of us. Now, which is not to say that we can't have functional and happy and productive and, over time, quite spectacular lives where we make giant contributions to the people around us or humanity or whatever. But I think you're only really going to figure out what that meaning or what that purpose was as, sort of looking in the rear vision mirror, looking back at your life and then suddenly seeing, oh, this was what happened, and this is why this happened, and this is what I've sort of committed myself to. I I don't think that you're necessarily going to figure out where you are now looking forward. You're going to have to get to wherever you're going to go, and it all makes sense looking backward. So what do you do? Well, I think you should still have goals and you should have aspirations and you should be looking forward to the future in terms of things of what you could do or should do or whatever. But you're not necessarily trying to look for that magical X factor of this is my meaning, this is my purpose. And in fact, you're just not going to find any sense of meaning or purpose sitting and thinking, what is my meaning, what is my purpose? You're not going to find any of these answers, if you're even going to find them at all, thinking about it. It's not until you're actually doing and accomplishing and moving forward are you going to find out what it is. So you should have goals, you should have aspirations. So what's the criteria of choosing to do something? Well, I think there's three basic things that sort of, I think three basic rules of thumb that I think are going to make you know that you should do something. That it's going to unwittingly find whatever your purpose or meaning is. And the first thing is that you just want to do something. You just want to do something. That there is something inside of you that says, yes, I want to do this. This looks cool. This looks fun. This looks great. I want to do this. Because whatever your meaning or purpose is not going to be incongruent with what you want to do. It's just not, it's not going to be in conflict with who you are. If you think you're here for some special purpose or meaning, that special purpose and meaning is not going to be something oppositional to you. You doing that meaning or purpose is not going to be like you grinding your own gears doing something horrible or obnoxious that you just can't stand. Whatever it is, you're actually going to want to do it. So you might as well just do what it is that you want, and maybe meaning and purpose shows up afterwards. The other thing I think you should be looking for, the second thing, is that whatever it is that you're committing to, whatever it is that you're doing, should have some long-term positive energy gain for yourself in some way. Like if you actually do this thing and you go down this road and you do whatever your task is, that there's some sort of benefit or payoff that just sort of builds itself into the structure of your life where it is a net positive, that it is going to grow your energy in some way. It's going to give you a net sort of boost to your energy in some way, that is basically going to add to your life, as opposed to going in the opposite direction and slowly digging a bigger and bigger hole for yourself. So you should want to do it, and there should be some long-term structural benefit in some way to whatever it is you're doing. The third thing I think you need to look for is something that is a challenge. And, it should be hard enough and difficult enough where it's actually stretching your intelligence and stretching your abilities and growing your skills in order for you to do whatever this thing is that you're deciding to do. So it should be hard, it should be difficult, it should be a challenge, but it also shouldn't be impossible, because you can't actually do the impossible. And the things that are impossible now are not necessarily impossible 5 years from now or 10 years or whatever it is, but you're not going to get to do those things until you do whatever it is that's facing you right now. If it's too easy, you're not actually going to be engaged. You're not actually going to be tapping into your full potential. And whatever your true meaning or true purpose is, that's going to be something related to your true full potential. So whatever it is that you're looking at doing needs to be a challenge in some sort of way. So it needs to be something you want to do, something that's going to give you a long-term energy gain, and it's going to be something that is challenging you. I think if you look at those three things in terms of deciding what it is you're going to do with your life for the next year or 2 years or whatever it is, I think if you keep doing those things consistently, that you're going to find yourself on this sort of slow escalation up to bigger and better things, whatever they are. And when you get to wherever you're ultimately going to go and you look back at your life, you're going to get to see that there was some sort of meaning or some sort of purpose, that everything you've done up until this point is preparing you and helping you with what you're doing now. But you just can't sit on your hands and try and figure out, what is my meaning? What is my purpose? Why am I here? What makes me special? It's all a giant red herring. Just find something you want to do. Make sure it's going to be something that's a net positive, and make sure it's something that's going to challenge you. And if you do those three things, I'm sure meaning and purpose will sort itself out. So that's about it, and I will talk to you soon.